Hey, what's up, man?
Not much, man. Just chilling. Tokyo.
Good, man. Welcome to Tokyo. What do you want to tell the people?
Well, for artists, particularly if you're not a nepo baby, I want to tell you: commit crimes. Crimes for money. Art.
No, I disagree. Why would you commit crimes for money? Like,
Well, any art form requires a lot of time, patience, talent, and all that. But the thing you need really is the ability to pay your bills without, or I should say, do your art without worrying about your bills.
but you can just get a 9 to 5 and do your art in the evenings.
Yeah, but
don't risk going to jail and have a
Well, that's the
good
part-
life without watching your back every time.
well, that's the part where you got to be a good criminal too.
That's what we forgot to say.
Yes, yes. I'm always reminded of this quote: "It's only illegal if you get caught."
Okay.
Hillary Clinton said that.
Oh, yeah.
And you know how many crimes those people have gotten away with, the Clintons. They're worth several $billion, even though as politicians they only made $100K a year or so.
But I still disagree, man. Like, okay, let me see. Let me ask you, like, what kind of crimes would you
Non-violent.
non-violent?
Non-violent,
Okay,
you
great.
know.
So like finessing old people. Or
Oh
like,
no. That's
That's not.
we can leave that. We can leave that to the call centers. No, I'm talking about stuff like OnlyFans.
It's not a crime,
In some places it is.
really.
Yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely it is. You know,
Can you give me an example of something that is, let's say, like it's a universally a crime?
well, I was a weed dealer for 15 years.
It's not a crime.
It is here.
It is
And-
here and
and
many
when-
other places.
And when I was doing that in Canada before legalization, it for sure was.
Hmm.
But the reason, I also had a 9 to 5. At one
Okay.
point, I had a 9 to 5. I was doing comedy and the weed thing. And what I realized is I was falling behind because, the arts are full of people who are subsidized by their parents or something like that, or just, nepo babies, really. And if you're exhausted after a long work day and then you got to go to a mic, and you got to do that over and over, writing time, prepping, commuting, squeezing in maybe some gym or just even a social life, you will burn out.
I totally agree because I actually just quit my 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I 100% agree with you that you should definitely get some way of sustaining yourself without
Mhm.
like getting burnt out from your 9 to 5. But committing crimes, man, I need you to give me apart from like selling weed, give me a kind
Okay, let me-
a type of crime that I can commit and not harm anyone. Like just
That's a good question. Look, let me back up a little bit and explain it this way. What I'm really talking about is finding ways to make money with little effort, because your real effort is going into your art, right?
Okay.
And this is going to be a super left-wing thing to say, but the concept of crime is subjective.
okay.
When rich people break the rules and make $1 billion, it's considered good business. That's what Uber did, for example. They weren't allowed to run taxis. They were running unlicensed cabs for the first 5-10 years. They were breaking crimes and just paying off fines.
How did they get off?
They had money.
Just paid anyway.
They just
Everyone.
paid the fines.
Oh, okay.
That's all they did, because when they started, this concept didn't exist and it was extremely illegal. You needed to have some kind of license to operate a cab company. They were like, I don't care, we'll just run an app. And that's just one example of pretty much every tech disruptor on the planet started off in the quote-unquote gray zone.
What are some of the crimes you can advise upcoming comedians who are struggling? Like some of the
Yeah.
crimes they can take so that they can focus more on stand-up.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, I guess I'm using the word crime, but what I'm really talking about is breaking the rules and breaking like the norms, right? For example,
For income.
For income, that's correct. So finding shortcuts, finding ways to maximize what time you have. A really easy example: if you have a 9 to 5, just don't do your job. You know what I mean? Like go to work, do the bare minimum, and use that time to write, plan, produce, that kind of a thing.
Okay. So don't work at your job.
Yeah, exactly. So there's
Number one,
that.
okay.
Any type of light drug that is like an outdated concept. For example, I was talking about weed, but a lot of people also find ways to smuggle in different kinds of medication to people who can't get it. That kind of a
I see.
situation.
So drug dealing basically.
Pretty much. Obviously, like I talk about sex work, porn, OnlyFans, that type of situation, which again is illegal in some parts and not so much in other parts. And of course, there's tax evasion. I always recommend not paying your taxes.
Have you done that before?
No,
Yeah.
no, I haven't.
No, he hasn't.
This is what gets me an audit. That's what's going to happen.
No, I see.
and you know, like there's always it's strange what is considered illegal in different places. Like,
yes.
you know what I mean? Like
Varies a lot.
in parts of America, it's illegal to collect rainwater.
Really?
Yes, you're actually not allowed to collect rainwater that falls from
How do you like, you know, back home 90% of people survive on rainwater actually. You have
See,
huge
exactly.
tanks and that's how you collect water.
So what I'm really talking about is like skirting those things, right?
I
Like,
see.
you know, you give people certain you're filling a need that
Mm.
has been blocked by some ridiculous old law, or usually it's not even an old law, it's a way to retain monopoly for a big corporation. So I'm sure the water thing has something to do with that.
I see.
You know, you can go to, if you wanted to, if you were feeling entrepreneurial, you could start collecting rainwater and find a way to sell that to somebody who needs it. Who knows? I don't know why it's illegal, but if it's illegal, that means there's a need for it.
Yeah, you'll be dealing water. That's a new one.
That's not even that far from when we're gonna have a problem.
That is
when
crazy.
It comes to droughts.
So
and things.
like you've been doing stand-up for quite a very long time. Like how long did you do illegal stuff for until you go to a place where now stand-up is stable enough to pay your salary and everything?
Basically, it took about 12 years for me to, and I shed one after another. First I shed my day job, then the weed, and then fully stand-up. So
do you feel like stand-up is giving you what you deserve now? Like, is it paying off finally?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Are you a comfortable comedian, or are you just are you an artist? You know, and you say
I see. I mean, I'm in Japan on my own dime, you know what I'm saying? So there's that.
I mean,
so it's
on,
all
man,
right.
Japan is cheaper than Africa right now.
No, are you kidding?
Come on.
Look at me sweating my balls off.
Apart from comedy, like, why do you keep on coming back to Japan?
Honestly, the food, just Tokyo in general. Every time I've been coming here every year for the last few years anyway, and there's always something new. The fact that you're building stuff on top of things, on top of other things. You know, there's.
Did you get lost this time around?
Oh yeah, several times, but on purpose. You're just kind of wandering around, you know. And also, it's like a self-contained. It's like a different universe here.
Yeah. And yesterday, this is so fun. You are late for a show because of someone jumping on the
2 days in a row.
2 days in a row.
2 nights.
Do you feel like that is God sending a message to you?
I think that that is, honestly, if we're gonna be serious for a second, I would say that's happening all around the world right now. You know,
Really?
Like a general degradation of the standards of life. I've never seen this many jumps here than I have this year. Like 2 days in a row is weird. I've never had this many train delays in Tokyo as, you know, like before it was like to the second.
But do you have like the same issues in Canada? Like,
yeah, globally. What we're really experiencing right now is, you know, you've got the ultra rich who are soaking up all the resources. They don't want to pay you right. They work you to death. So everybody is too broke, for example, to have babies.
Yes.
They don't have babies, there's not enough people. Then the same people who are not paying you enough to live import people who can work for less than you. And now you're out of a job.
Yeah.
And then they start creating tension between you and the person they used to replace you until the whole thing collapses and they fuck off with their fuck off money.
It is a big issue because like only last week there have been like 7 protests in different countries. You know, we've had Japan protesting against foreigners. We've had the US, the UK, Canada, of course, and a few other countries. And you know, I am really torn between this issue because, like, you go, for example, to Southeast Asia, there are so many British people, there are so many Americans,
but they're expats. They're not immigrants.
Yeah, so like, where do we draw the line? Is it because of the skin color? Like,
of course it is, and it's also who controls the narrative, who controls the media, and who really controls what gets on the air, right? It's always billionaires. It's always their interests supersede everybody else.
Like now, I'm doing this joke that always sort of kills because I've never been to Canada, but I've just been seeing so, like, my Instagram and TikTok has just been filled by Canada is being invaded by Indians.
Oh yeah.
So
invaded.
Yes,
invaded by minimum wage workers.
Come take our jobs here.
Yeah, those people working at coffee shops and bagging groceries and delivering food, they're taking over.
Yeah,
they're the reason you're not making money.
100%.
They control your boss who pays your salary. Like, come on.
Your power is over the roof, like price-wise, and everything is just too expensive.
It's the same as what I was saying earlier, is that we are under the thrall of a very small group of multi-billionaires, the highest income inequality since feudal times. And it's the same thing. Human nature is cyclical, right? So the same sociopaths who want to suck up every dollar, even though they don't have nothing to do with it, are the ones behind almost, I would say, 99.99% of the problems on Earth. 0.01 because who knows? There may be some other issue. But overall, they underpay you. You're too tired to have kids, have a family, have a life. Then they bring in people to undercut you, and it's not the fault of those people either. It's not and for whatever reason, they're specifically bringing in people from South Asia. That I don't know why. I assume it's because of English speaking abilities and stuff like that.
And affordable labor too,
That's true.
And paying them and all that.
Like if you're looking for English speaking affordable labor, you will go to South Asia.
100%,
right?
Because people are more educated, are skilled, and
There's-
they're everything that you need without the cost. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yes.
So they're pitting us against each other. Everywhere you go, it's the billionaires dividing and conquering. That's what's happening. And if you trace all your problems back, that's where it goes to. You know, we're sweating like crazy right now in fall here. Why? Because the energy companies don't want to lose even a single cent in profits, right? They want to extract every piece
maximize
maximize their profits, whether it means fracking or all those oil drilling and everything that leads to climate disasters is because of them.
They don't care.
They don't care. Some country gets flooded. Where do those people go? Somewhere else. And then every war we have is a war between defense contractors, right? Then they create like Russia, Ukraine, or everything in the Middle East, all the war. Like it comes down to the greed of a specific sector.
What do you think is the solution to this though? Like
historically,
yeah, exactly. Let's go historically.
Historically, there's only ever been one.
But I feel like it's happening.
It is
sort of happening. You've seen what has just happened in Nepal last week.
Nepal, Charlie Kirk, all of that.
Charlie Kirk, exactly. So.
Here's one of my favorite facts about conflict is that the people during a war don't know they're in a war, right? So in modern times, we say that World War II was from the early 30s to like the mid 40s. But people who lived in the 1930s didn't know they were in a world war. They just thought, oh, there's all these random conflicts happening around the world. And they all came to a head in the early 40s with the big actual hot war. And so we're kind of in that phase, the early phase of that, where we've had Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, India, Pakistan, a bunch of stuff, and like the stuff that's happening in Sudan and all that.
History repeats itself because, of course, it started with the economic crisis.
Yes.
The same sequence that was there before the previous world wars.
Exactly, the exact same.
The
early 1900s.
Yes.
There was a pandemic, a stock market crash, a recession, all these different random conflicts, and these are all connected. This is how people behave when you're starved for resources and you don't have a way out. It's tribal. I went through the same thing. I grew up in the Soviet Union, right? The USSR. The USSR, and I lived through the fall, 85 to 95, and it fell in 1990, 91 times. And the USSR fell because they lost a Cold War to the United States. And guess who they blamed when they lost a war to the United States? The immigrants. Every single time. I mean, I lived through that, and suddenly everybody's like, oh, well, we don't have work. Everything's collapsed. There's no jobs. There's no money. You know what? There's too many dark-skinned people here. No. You lost to the CIA is what happened.
But is that the reason you left?
No. I mean, actually, kind of, yeah, because the situation, I mean, I was young, but my parents decided to leave because they couldn't stay there anymore.
And now where you are, you're about to be blamed for the collapse.
Already am.
Coming. Where are you moving next?
Well, I'm in Toronto. Well, where I'm moving next? Into a bunker. I'm moving into a bunker somewhere, or probably all the new real estate that's coming out in the North Pole.
They got bunkers and shit. Yeah, so we've been talking about so much stuff and so much sadness that is in the world today. But I know what we do. You're a comedian, I'm a comedian, but those guys don't know you. Can you just tell people what you do and who you are and why the heck are you in Japan now? This heat? Why would you come in Japan in the summer?
I mean, I'm here for the Tokyo Roast Fest. Obviously I'm a stand-up comedian, but I'm also a producer. I like to create shows. Aside from writing jokes, I like to create different ways of communicating an idea, as part of a group or solo, whatever. So I have my own production company called Toronto Comedy All Stars. And under that banner, I create a lot of different shows. Like one of them is Your Hood's a Joke. That's playing. The biggest one so far. It's the most requested show here in Tokyo.
Yes, it's very popular.
It's very popular. Racism battle. It's competitive racism. It's fun. Aside from that, I also write for other like TV shows, radio. You know, I'm hired. In fact, my particular strength is selling tickets.
Oh,
And
interesting.
I get hired by a lot of different like venues or other people, other comics, or like, hey, can you help me put on a show? What's wrong? Or like, no, like engineer my shows. Like, okay, what's wrong with it? Like, well, it's a bad day. Your poster sucks. Things of that nature.
Fundamentals.
So kind of like, you know, I help people to develop their talents in that area as well. And, you know, over time now I can sustain myself completely with comedy. That's all I do, you know. So I mean, while I was here this weekend, 3 of my shows were running in Toronto as well, and I was running them remotely, or just off my phone.
Were they all your hood? Is a joke or just
No,
like...
I have like multiple types of stand-up shows running. Yeah, there's like, you know, different branding as well.
Yes.
In fact, Roast Battle Toronto. While I was doing Roast Battle Tokyo here, Roast Battle Toronto was running, which is, you know, I'm the president of that. RBL, shout out. So, you know, overall, I would say that's kind of what I do. I like to put together events because I've been doing like events since I was in college. I lived on campus. I lived in the smallest room you could, like a classic dorm room.
Like a classic Tokyo room, you say.
Exactly. And then I would throw massive, huge ragers on the weekend. Like it was a lot of fun, and I learned how to get people into an event at a very early age. So I've been like promoting and hosting since I was like, you know, in college.
I see. So you don't feel like it's really work.
It's fun. It's fun for me. Yeah. So if you're ever in Canada, Toronto, come by, check me out. You'll have a lot of fun.
Okay.
Comedy, roast battles, burlesque, all of that.
That's pretty dope, man. So this has been great, man. I really learned a lot from you. You are very... I didn't know you're this smart, Danish.
But I didn't either.
Signing out, what do you want to tell the final words as we walk out of this train?
Eat the rich. The billionaires are part of the problem. And if you look back far enough, if you trace the line, you'll see who's really at fault for everything that's happening.
Okay, social media.
So, Terror Suspect, check me out.
Yeah, that's actually social media. It's Terror Suspect. Don't cut. Yeah, it's Terror Suspect. On all platforms.
All platforms, TikTok, Instagram.
You're on TikTok.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're on TikTok.
I'm on TikTok.
Like some of those people were like, "Fuck it, I can't be on TikTok. It's for Gen Zs and shit." And now it's just you twerking on TikTok.
I know, right? Nah, you know what's? I love all new media because it's another way of flexing your creativity.
Yes,
you know.
That is true.
You know, I don't want to just do comedy in one form.
No, you gotta be everywhere, man.
Yeah, and the same joke has a different feel and has a different structure on stage versus on social media or versus written down.
Exactly.
Right?
There are some jokes that I perform.
Yes.
But I also include in my scripts when I'm doing like sit-down videos on YouTube and stuff.
Exactly.
So I totally get it.
Yeah,
you know, they translate differently to different audiences.
You just have to like adjust a little bit, you know, change a few things, and I find that part very enjoyable to take one idea. It's hard enough to write a joke and make people laugh with the fewest words possible. That's our job. Is you got to show up, make 300 strangers arrive at the same conclusion using the fewest words possible every 15 to 30 seconds. That's stand-up.
It is freaking crazy. This stand-up thing is very fascinating.
Yeah, and then you add social media to it. You add all other types of delivering your joke. It's a lot of fun for me personally.
It's fun. This is what I want to do until like
pretty much.
Like next week.
I mean, this will kill us. This is
okay, man. Let's say bye to the camera, man.
All right,
it's been amazing.
Guys.
Thank
Thanks
you for
listening.
hanging out, man. Have a good one.
Take it easy.
Cheers.